Hi, hello. That was the cringiest thing I've ever done. This week, I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of a reading challenge. So we're going to be reading a different graphic novel every day of the week for 7 days straight. There have been a lot of graphic novels that I've heard of but never read, and so I figured this is the perfect opportunity to do so. And also, hopefully, it can give you guys an idea of some graphic novels to read because there is a wide selection here. There will probably be a graphic novel in here that you might like. The start of this week is relatively slow for me, but the weekend is very busy. So when it comes to it, we'll see how we do with this challenge. The first graphic novel that we're going to read is Paper Girls, and I've borrowed the first 2 volumes from my library. I think it's a sci-fi thing set in the 80s. Don't know a whole lot about it. I'm trying not to read the blurbs of books because I just kind of feel like they spoil things a lot of the time. And I just prefer if they didn't, The way I like to read stories is kind of not knowing the plot twists before I start reading them. So I don't read the blurbs of books anymore. So come along for the ride while I vlog my week of reading graphic novels. Hi, it's late. Please excuse the lighting. But I have to talk about this because I just finished the first volume of Paper Girls. And what did I just read? This is the most bizarre book I have read in a long time. Literally, what is this? What is this? It's like aliens and time travel and mystery and murders and a weirdly homophobic character. I'm really confused. Okay, first of all, the art style is sick. The color scheme in this book, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is crazy. I love this. I'm loving the 80s newspaper girl vibe. I think that's cute with their bikes. It just reminds me of Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things, okay? So from what I know so far, this is set in 1988. It follows 4 newspaper delivery girls who basically uncover this, I don't know if it's aliens or if it's people from the future. It's all very strange. I'm not really sure what's going on, to be honest. That's basically the best summary I can give so far. If we want to talk about the characters, the main character is Erin. I don't really have an opinion about her. We don't know a whole lot about her. She has these weird dreams or something. I don't know if they're supposed to be visions, not sure yet. I really like Tiffany and KJ. They're the most badass out of the group. They're the only ones who really get up and do something when they're in trouble. And then Mackenzie is just oddly homophobic all the time. And I wasn't expecting that, I've got to be honest. I know it's set in the 80s, but damn girl, is that your only personality trait? Wow. I will say that every time she does say something homophobic, the rest of the girls kind of go, stop that, that's not cool. But I don't know anything else about Mackenzie other than that she has a stepmom and that she's homophobic. And there is a gay character in this. He's a side character, but when he says that oh, these people killed my boyfriend, she says, ew. And I was like, shut up. How about you close your mouth, Just a thought. I'm hoping she gets some sort of character redemption arc because she's not it. It's fun. I enjoyed it. I was just really confused the whole time and just really hating Mackenzie. That's the first volume of Paper Girls. It's wild. I still don't know what's going on, but I guess I'll let you know. Hi, okay, we're back. It's been an hour and I finished the second one. Guys, this is crazy. It's so bizarre, but I'm really here for it. It's they just throw stuff at you. Just these twists and they're twists, but you don't even know really how they're twists because you don't really understand how everything fits together. Things are slowly starting to make more sense. Although, to be honest, I kind of feel I just have more questions now than before. I'm really enjoying the pacing of it, actually. Basically, in this one, the main group kind of splits into 2 groups, and then you also have the perspective of the people who I'm assuming are the bad guys, although honestly I don't really know who to trust at this point. But the way that it transitions between all 3 perspectives I thought was really well done. Great pace, keeps you engaged the whole way through. No idea who's the actual bad guy. We're led to believe one thing, but I kind of don't trust it. Gotta be honest, kind of don't trust it. So if you're looking for something weird and sci-fi that has a cool color scheme, give this one a try. I think it's by the same person who wrote Saga. I've never read Saga, but I've heard people really like it, so maybe I will try that series out next. But this concludes day 1 of this video, so I will see you tomorrow. This is day 2 of our little reading challenge, and today we're going to be reading Sheets by Brenna Thummler. This is like a middle grade fantasy paranormal graphic novel. I'm pretty sure it's about this young boy who's like a ghost, and he has like this little sheet over his head because he's a ghost, and he finds this laundromat and makes friends with the woman who works there. That's basically all I know. It sounds adorable. I'm excited to read it. I'm actually borrowing it from my library as an ebook, and I was gonna read it on my phone, but then I realized I have to film with my phone. So we're gonna try reading it on my laptop, which is gonna be an interesting reading experience. I also wanna try read this outside because it's like 32 degrees, which is too hot in my opinion. But it's gonna be rainy tomorrow, so I mean, if I'm gonna sit outside any day, it's gotta be today. Hey, so it is day 3. First of all, if you hear that weird humming noise, I don't know what that is. It might be my neighbor's aircon because it is like still 30 degrees today, even though, oh yep, there it is, it's raining. I don't know what's going on with the weather. It's, you know, when I said that summer was my favorite season, this is not really what I meant. But anyways, Sheets. Yes, I didn't update you last night when I read it because I was exhausted. So I was mostly right in my initial description of it. It follows a girl, I think she's maybe 12, 13. It follows Marjorie, who's running her family's laundromat because her mother has died and her father is dealing with really deep depression, and her younger brother doesn't really understand what's going on. So she's like the only one who can keep the business afloat. I wasn't expecting it to be as sad as it was. It's not the kind of sadness that makes you like bawl your eyes out, but it's that kind of like soft, gentle undertone of sadness and grief and depression that just like, oh. The expression that Marjorie wears on her face for most of the book, ooh, it really hits you. It really just shows the grief that her character's going through and the way that she's just trying to put one foot in front of the other and get through the day, and the weight of the responsibility that is put on her shoulders that shouldn't be at her age. And now let's talk about Wendell, who is the little ghost boy who visits her. I love him, okay? He's the cutest thing I've ever seen. His facial expressions, they're so simple. Like, his character design is really simple, but like the deadpan expressions that he gives, I actually can't. It's the cutest thing ever. I love him. I love the little stories he creates because he's like scared to kind of tell everyone how he died. So he creates these crazy elaborate stories about how he died and no one believes him, but he just keeps making up these stories. And it's just, it's so cute. I love it. And the villain in this, he's so funny. Like, what is he even doing? What a strange character. The color scheme in it is, oof, so good. It's a lot of like pastels and cool tones, and then in the flashback scenes you get this kind of sepia overlay over all of it. Overall, it was such a sweet story. I definitely recommend it. The ending was a little bit, how do I say? Maybe convenient. The whole story is quite slow going and it really takes time to dig into the pauses and the emotions of everything, which I thought was great. But then the ending felt a little bit too happy ending, if that makes sense. Like, it was super cute, don't get me wrong, but I wish there'd been a little bit more like tension maybe. But other than that, oh my goodness, so freaking cute. I loved it. Okay, so for day 3 of this challenge, we're going to be reading Marjorie Liu and Sana Takada's Monstress. This has been described as a steampunk fantasy horror, and that sounds amazing. I'm actually not totally sure what this one is about. I didn't really want to spoil myself by reading more about it, but I think it's about this like girl who like is a survivor of a war or something, and then she's, I don't know if people are chasing her. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna read it, I will let you know. But I am already obsessed with this art style. Look at this, okay? Take a good long look at it because Oh my god. Like, hello? This looks amazing. I think this does have like a lot of body horror in it as well, which isn't usually my thing, but I mean, I've read Attack on Titan. I think I'll be fine. So I'm gonna read the first volume. We'll see if I get to the second one today, because I am absolutely exhausted. But I'll let you know how we go. This is such a clever way to add the history of the world and some world building to the story without having to actually disrupt the story. It's literally this cat professor, and he's telling the story of this world. But he's a cat, and he's a professor, and I love it. His name is literally Professor Tam Tam. What? And this, friends, is why we have separation of church and state. Stop it. Oh my god. Hello. Today is day 4 of reading graphic novels. Let's talk about Monstress, which I read yesterday. Oh my god. This was kind of wild and very confusing, but I kind of adored it. I've been trying to figure out how to summarize this, but it is so difficult because from the first chapter, you were just thrown into the world. Like, good luck working it out on your own. You're gonna have to. And I feel like if I start to go into it, I'm gonna have to explain everything. So I'm just gonna read this little message that the author wrote on the back, which I think is such a great way of describing the story. And the root of my desire, I finally realized, was to tell a story about what it means to be a survivor. A survivor, not just of a cataclysmic war, but of racial conflict and its antecedent, hatred. And to confront the question, how does one whom history has made a monster escape her monstrosity? How does one overcome the monstrousness of others without succumbing to a rising monstrousness within? That is literally what the story is about. It follows Micah, who's a 17-year-old survivor. She can't remember a lot about her past or the events that kind of led her to where she is. She and her kind are being hunted by these other people, but she is also searching for answers. And so she's hunting a few things herself. All the while, she's got some Tom Hardy Venom possession thing going on, which I thought was really interesting and much better than the actual Venom movie. And people weren't kidding when they said that there was a lot of information to take in. I usually read graphic novels in one sitting. This took me 3 sittings because of how absolutely dense and complex the world is, but I really liked it. The vibe of it is so cool. It's this gritty opulence. It's so extravagant and detailed and intricate. All of the art, all of the designs, everything is so intricate, but it's also really gritty and dark, and I love it. And the art in this is crazy. Every panel is so detailed. It's insane. And my favorite character is a talking cat, okay? Master Wren is the best character in this entire thing. Like, I love him. This is also written and illustrated by women, and like 95% of the characters are women. It's got some casual, like, sapphic representation. There's also these little, like, interludes between the chapters where this guy called Professor Tam Tam, who is a talking cat, tells you a little bit about the lore of the world, and like, that is such a great way to add in information that would be really difficult to bleed in through the story into the world, so you can give your reader a little bit more context for the world. I thought that was genius. This book is really gory though, and like has a lot of dark themes, so check out the description below for any trigger warnings that you might need. But if this is your type of thing, then definitely recommend this one. It is really cool. But anyway, enough rambling about a girl and her talking cat. Today we are going to be reading the Vox Machina Origins graphic novels. If you don't know what this is, I didn't either. It popped up on my Goodreads one time and I was like, the cover looks great. What is this? It says Origins, so like clearly it must be the origin story to something. So I did some research, and for those of you who have never heard of Critical Role, it's this like weekly live stream web series thing where 9 voice actors got together to play Dungeons and Dragons just for fun. And 6 years later, they are massive. I had actually heard about this Critical Role thing before, but I didn't actually start watching it until this year. And now I've got hundreds of hours of footage to get through in order to catch up. When I say hundreds of hours, I think there were like 119 episodes in just the first campaign, and each episode is like 3 hours long. And so yeah, it's a commitment, but I'm here for it. The series is actually a lot of fun. I love the actors in it. I think they are great. The DM is so good. Like, how does he make the story, plan these battles out and the creatures that they have to face, and then keep track of 8 different party members and like all the crazy things that they're doing at once, because they do some crazy things. He is literally amazing. So they have 2 graphic novels following our original characters, and these graphic novels tell the origin story of the characters. They also have an animated TV show coming out next year, which I am gonna watch the hell out of. But I have never read the graphic novels, so we're gonna do that today, and I am very excited because I love these characters. I'm borrowing the ebook of this one from my library, and we're gonna read it on the train because I actually have dance practice now. Anyways, so sorry if it's noisy out here. We are at the beach. It doesn't look like it, but we are. Oh my god, you can't even see it.
It's covered by the fence.
Oh my god, this lighting is so much better. Okay, we're doing it this way. So yeah, I apologize for any noise in the background. Yesterday I read the first volume of Vox Machina, and I was gonna update you this morning, but I didn't have time because I was doing something really important, and that is watching Shrek 2 with my sister. Very important business. Anyway, I absolutely love this graphic novel. It was so much fun. The vibe of it was exactly Critical Role. All the characters, they really did feel like younger versions of the characters in Critical Role. I was just so impressed. Vex is already my favorite character in Vox Machina, but Vex and Vax in this graphic novel are amazing. They're everything that I wanted and more. Superpower twins. It's like the perfect sibling banter, but still that connection between them, that love between them. She knows how it is. We like to insult each other. We like to be competitive with each other, but we love each other, maybe. That's a little hurtful. Where can I sign up to join the Keyleth Protection Squad, please? She's adorable. I love her. Thank you. That's all. Grog is hilarious. He is so like Grog. I can absolutely hear Travis's voice through him. Scanlan is wild. And I really love how they included some little references to the actual web series in the comic. Like, for example, there's a part where Keyleth mixes up Vex and Vax's names, which is something that the cast does often when playing. The way that the characters were introduced was brilliant. That first scene with Vex, Vax, and Keyleth, perfect. I love it. I love these characters. I think they're fantastic. It's really great to see them in graphic novel form. I really think that graphic novels are perfect for this. There's a new book that's come out called Kith and Kin, I think. It's about Vax and Vex and their life before Vox Machina. And it's a novel. And I'm a little like, I don't know how that will translate into a novel. I think it works great as a graphic novel, but I'm not sure how it will translate in a novel. But am I going to read it? Yes, obviously. It's Vex and Vax. They're my favorite characters. You can't write a novel about Vex and Vax and expect me not to read it. Don't you think so? But that's enough ranting about Critical Role. The graphic novel that I'm going to read today is probably going to be Locke and Key, which is like a fantasy horror thing. There's a Netflix show. I thought it looked interesting. I know nothing about it. Something about locks and keys, I'm assuming. But I'm excited to read it. I was going to save it for a little bit later in the week because I like to kind of mix up the genres as I'm going along. But this weekend is going to be crazy busy for me. So I reckon I'm just going to read it today and then read something lighter during the weekend. Would you set a ship on fire for me to save me?
No. I wouldn't. That'd be like a lot of money to fix.
I'm just gonna take a moment. I'm currently covering your face with the screen recording of the comic I'm reading. So you're welcome. Hello, I'm back. I didn't film yesterday because yesterday was intense. Yesterday I had like this dance project filming. It took up the whole day. We did it in public and there was this group of idiots who tried to mess with us. It was a thing. I actually did a vlog about it, caught them on camera, so maybe I'll post that, expose them. I don't know. They were really aggressive though and I kind of hate them. Anyways, I didn't get to update you about this yesterday, but on Friday I read Locke and Key, and it wasn't what I was expecting, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it. Just wasn't what I was expecting. I don't know, I think I remember watching the Netflix trailer for it and it kind of giving me like a little bit of maybe Umbrella Academy vibes. And so I thought it was gonna be that kind of like dark, low-key kind of weird vibe, but like still have some sort of humor to it or like wacky, bizarre stuff going on. But it was a lot more somber than I expected. The story basically starts with someone getting murdered, which is always a great way to start a story. And the story basically follows the man who got murdered's 3 kids. After their father gets murdered, they move to this house, who I think is owned by their uncle, but this house has magical properties that they are discovering. So basically a lot of the story is them trying to deal with the grief and loss of their father, which I thought was done really well. Each of the kids copes with it in a different way, and that was really interesting to see. And then while this is happening, the murderer is still on the loose and he is coming after them. I often find that I struggle to get invested in horror stories because I'm not really a big fan of like paranormal horror. I don't know, I just don't think like demons and ghosts are really for me. And although Locke and Key had a magic element to it, and there is like the main villain who does seem to have some sort of weird magic going on, a lot of it was just based around this very human serial killer essentially. And real life stuff, real life horrors are more scary to me than kind of supernatural horrors, which is why I like this book. And you also get to see some of the chapters from the murderer's perspective, and you get to see kind of why he does what he does and what got him to that point, and it's kind of intense. I was definitely on the edge of my seat for most of this volume. So that is Locke and Key. I also started reading the Backstages yesterday. Have not finished that one yet, so when I do finish it today, I will let you know how it goes. And I don't know what other graphic novel to read today for the 7th day. I was gonna read Mooncakes, which sounds adorable, but I think it's pretty long and I have a 5-hour dance practice today. So I don't know when I'm gonna get time to read it. So maybe I'll do Mooncakes, maybe I'll do something else. I will update you and let you know. And now I'm gonna drag my exhausted muscles into a 5-hour dance practice. This is cozy vibes only. My sister made us cookies and I've got tea and we're just chilling with the sunset. I've got my dog. Hello. Is it holidays? Yes, it is. Let's talk about the last 2 days of this little reading challenge. On day 6, I read The Backstages. I don't remember the author's name, but it's here. I read the first volume, which is called Rebels Without Applause, which is obviously a take on Rebel Without a Cause, which is a surprisingly queer-coded movie. Studied that in school, and I was like, it's a little bit fruity, but you know. And so is this graphic novel. This story follows a bunch of kids who work backstage for their high school's theatre productions. Backstage, there is an entire fantasy world that no one else but the Backstagers know about. And so this story follows Jory, who's a new student at the school, and the friends that he makes and the adventures that they get up to. This is a really cute book. I really liked all the characters. The art style was super fun, very cartoony and really great for showing the characters' expressions. This wasn't one that you kind of take too seriously. It's just a whole lot of fun. It's a good time. I really enjoyed it. I think if you like theatre, you will like this one. I never did theatre in high school, but I did go to a full-time dance school. So it was really fun to invest in this little behind-the-scenes story of what goes on during productions, because I've been there. If you're looking for something chill, fun, has cute characters, has a cute little storyline, then I do recommend this one. And then for day 7, I read the first volume of The Tea Dragon Society. I'd heard a lot of people talking about this. I wasn't sure if it was going to be my thing, But oh my god, it was so cute. The minute I flipped the page and I saw this, I was like, yes, this is for me. This looks adorable. I'm so ready to read this. It's super chill. It's very like character focused. There's no real plot. It's just basically a lot of really aesthetic drawings, very cute characters and little dragons. I love the dragons. I showed my sister the dragons and we were both like, I know. And the jasmine dragon reminds us a little bit of our dog because of the way he sits. And it's so cute. And I love robots. Little chunky boy. I love him. It was just a really, really sweet story. There are 4 chapters and they're each split into the different seasons. And the color scheme of every chapter fits with that season, which I really, really liked. It's a very short book, which is why I chose it for the last day because I had a very long dance practice that day. But it's just such a really wonderful reading experience. It's just really cozy and sweet and chill, and I really liked it. It was really nice to just finish off the week with 2 really fun, chill, wholesome graphic novels. And that's it. I did a... I can't believe I read 7 different graphic novels this week. That's like crazy. Cool. I think we'll finish it there and move on to the outro. So let's wrap up this video. This week, I read 7 different graphic novel series. I read Paper Girls, which is a sci-fi alien time travel type story that gives Stranger Things vibes. I read Sheets, which is a super cute paranormal fantasy comic that also talks about depression and grief. I read Monstress, which is a steampunk fantasy horror about a girl who is running away from her hunters while trying to unravel the mystery of her life. I read the Critical Role Vox Machina Origins graphic novel, which is a media tie-in about a bunch of heroes and the first adventures that they share together. I read Lock and Key, which is a fantasy horror about murders and magic. I read The Backstages, a magical middle grade novel about the children working backstage at their high school's musical theatre production and the magic that goes on there. And then last but not least, I read The Tea Dragon Society, which is about a bunch of magical friends and their cute little magical dragons. While it became a little bit difficult to keep up with this challenge, I'm really glad that I did it because I discovered so many new graphic novels. And I liked all of them. There was no dud in this one. I'm kind of like, am I really that good at picking out new books? Like, I actually recommend all of these graphic novels. I genuinely liked all of them. I think if I had to choose my favorite, I'm probably gonna say Monstress because I love the vibe. I think the characters are all really great. I'm very excited to read the 2nd volume. So yeah, I think Monstress was probably my favorite, but I also really loved the Critical Role one because it was hilarious. I've just started reading the 2nd volume of that. It's just like kind of basically one-shots about characters from Critical Role. But it's great. If you have watched Critical Role, I do recommend that you give this a go because it's just a lot of fun. It's just great to see the Vox Machina characters again. And it works really well in graphic novel form. And I do want to give an honorable mention to the Tea Dragon Society for making my heart grow 3 sizes because it's so cute. It's just a really easy read and it's really wholesome. You can read it in like 30 minutes and just get those good vibes and it's great. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. It was a bit of a pain in my ass to make, especially the editing process, but I'm glad that I did it because these graphic novels were really, really fun. I'm really glad that I found them. So if you liked it, give it a like so that I know you liked it and leave a comment telling me which one of these graphic novels you want to pick up, or if you've already read some of them, tell me your thoughts on them. Subscribe for more book content coming out on this channel soon and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Kid is doing a wheelie on his bike. At least he's wearing a helmet. Okay.